What up, y'all? It's your boy here, right back at you with another shorty. This one's a little different. This one ain't got nothing to do with my normal, high school and McDonald's stories. This one is about a show that I had watched, I should say, called Evil Lives Here. And the episode they had on yesterday was about this woman who hooked up with this guy, and he was in a bad relationship. She was in a bad relationship. And so he ended up leaving his girl. She left her dude, and they ended up getting together. And one thing led to another. When he broke up with his woman, he ended up moving in with the new chick. And once they started living together, she saw a whole different side of this dude, and he became very violent towards her. And at the end of the day, he was beating on her. He alienated her from her friends, her family, cussing her mother out. He was just wilding out. He tried to kill her a couple times. At the end of the episode, his intent was to set him and his girlfriend on fire and kill them both. She runs out the house. Well, when she did that, her mother lived, I guess, in the same neighborhood. So he takes 2 canisters of gasoline to the woman's mother's house and sets her mother and himself on fire and burned the house down. The mother was elderly. He ended up killing the mother. He survived. He's now doing a 50-piece in jail after all of that. But what got me the most about that episode was that this woman, if you watch that whole episode, he was doing things to her the entire time. He was beating on her, alienating her from her friends. He literally tried to kill her a couple times, strangle her, beat her half to death. And the only thing she could keep saying while she was telling her story is that she just kept trying to make it work. She wanted to make it work. It's like no matter how abusive he was to her, she just wanted to keep trying to make it work. And I'm like, why do women do that? I mean, this guy is violent as I don't know what. And you up here calling yourself go try to make it work. And she got 2 children. She had 2 daughters. Just watching all of this. So you just gonna sit there and let this dude keep beating you, doing whatever he want to you, choking you out. He told you he was gonna kill you. And it even got to a point where she put him out, and the police had to come there and make him leave. And then when she did that, 10 days later, she let him move back in, talking about, I'm gonna try to make it work. I don't understand that. I don't understand why women put up with that type of foolishness. It just let me know that this woman just lonely, and she don't care what this dude does. She'd rather deal with the abuse than to be alone. And I say all that to say this. Women, when y'all out here looking for a man, or if you're dealing with somebody right now, I think the problem that a lot of women have, you always hear women talking about there's no good men out here. And I disagree with that. I think there's plenty of good men out here. I just think that women they don't want to go get a good man. They want to create a good man. It's like maybe he may have 2/3 of the things that she's looking for in a man, and whatever he don't have, she's going to teach it to him. and she's going to make him into her version of a good man. And there lies the problem, because you don't date men based off of who he is. You date men based off of his potential. You see the potential in him. You see what he could be. And all he needs is somebody like you to get him over the hump. But you can save yourself a whole lot of time, effort, and energy if you would learn to accept a man for who he is when you meet him. Because who he is, you have to assume that he is going to always be that man. Don't go into no relationship with plans to renovate him and to fix whatever wrongs he has. Don't do that, because more often than not, that is not going to happen, because the plans that you have for him, the person that you envision him to be, may not be who he wants to be. He may be satisfied with who he is at the time that you met him. If you in a relationship with a dude that prior to y'all hooking up, he was in a bad relationship, he was in a bad marriage, and it might not have been a bad marriage, it's just that he just liked to play around, whatever the case may be. If he left a woman to be with you, please don't think that he won't do the exact same thing to you, because that's who he is. That's who he always was. And too often than not, men show you exactly who they are, because we don't think things through like women do. Men are very physical beings. We tend to just do things, especially when our testosterone and hormones start talking to us. It's just a feature in a male, and they're just not a male, it's males across the board, humans, animals. You watch Animal Kingdom and Discovery Channel and stuff like that, Animal Planet. 2 lions will kill each other. They will fight to the death just to have sex with one woman, one female lion. They'll kill each other over it. When 2 male animals go into heat, they will kill to have sex with that woman, because their testosterone take over their mind. Men will do anything to satisfy that need for sexual contact. So if a man left a woman for you, there's a very high probability he's going to leave you for another woman. And I don't care how good you are to him. I don't care how nice you are to him. I don't care what you do. He is who he is. He is what he is. He always been that way. And until he decides to change, that's the way he gonna be. It ain't nothing you can do about it. Just because you got big plans for him, don't mean that your plan and his plan are gonna coincide. Because you got to lay that groundwork up front. You know what I'm saying? Whatever issues that he may have that you feel as though you can fix, you need to have that conversation with him prior to you committing to him. You got to be upfront with yourself and with him, because you're more than likely not going to change him. He'll play the game with you. He'll act like he's changing. He'll tell you he's going to change. It's not going to change. Because if it's not in him to do that, if he doesn't want to change, if he doesn't want to stop doing whatever it is, it could be anything. It could be he likes to run around with women, or he's on drugs, he's an alcoholic, he's abusive, whatever those dynamics are in him, unless he wants to change, he's not going to change. He's not going to change because you want him to change. If he's going to change, it's going to be because he wants to change. And if he wants to change, you're not going to have to help him change. He's going to do that on his own. So, women, please stop thinking you're going to change a man. You're not. The only thing you're going to do is you're going to waste days, weeks, months, and years of your life with somebody that is just like an hourglass that's been flipped over. Eventually, time's up. Any relationship that you in that you gotta make it work, like this woman was trying to do on that show Evil Lives Here, that she said she was trying to make it work. If you gotta make a relationship work, it's just a matter of time. I don't care how much you love him. I don't care how much he loves you. If y'all got to make it work, it's just a matter of time before that relationship is going to come to an end. Because any relationship that is meant to be, you ain't got to make nothing work. It just automatically work. Because wherever he's weak, you're strong. Wherever you're weak, he's strong. It's just like y'all just come together. When it's made to be, everything gonna line up automatically. Sure, it's gonna be some disagreements here and there, but those things can be worked out. That's small stuff. Once you got that when you locked in that foundational stuff, everything else can be worked out. That's easy. That's compromise. You ain't got that foundational stuff, forget it. Don't even waste your time. Because 10 years from now, 5 years from now, 20 years from now, 2 weeks from now, you done wasted too much time. It's just a matter of time that relationship is coming to an end. It could be this year, next year, 6 months from now, 10 years from now. It's not going to last. If you got to make a relationship work, it is not going to last forever. I don't care how long it takes. Eventually, y'all gonna get tired of each other. Y'all gonna outgrow each other, and y'all just gonna have to go y'all separate ways. And then you're gonna look back and say, I wasted a year of my life, 5 years, 20 years of my life in a relationship that just went nowhere. You know? So just don't try to make a relationship work. And if you're in a relationship that you are currently making it work, your days are numbered in that relationship. I can almost guarantee you. And it's not just, this is not just a video for the women. It's for men too. Men need to be real, not just with the woman, but men need to be real with themselves. Men, we have to realize we know what works for us. We don't overthink things like women do. We are very physical, not emotional when it comes to things. We have to be honest first with ourselves. We know what's going to work for us. I know now what works for me. And I know that if I do not have all the things that works for me, it's not gonna last. It's not gonna last. So we have to first be honest with ourselves. Don't get involved with a woman that does not check all of what they call now your non-negotiables. There are certain things that you know as a man, if I do this and she does that, whatever she do that you don't like, it's a matter of time before you're going to find some woman that does like the things that you like. You're going to have all of your boxes checked regardless, whether it's one woman or not. That's kind of how we do. And that's not the way we should be. If you're going to be in a relationship with a woman, you better be in a relationship with a woman that, sorry about that, that checks all the boxes, all your non-negotiables, okay? And the same thing with her, with you. You know, and when I say non-negotiables, there are certain things that you just know that if this woman does these type of things or she's this certain way, you're going to end up cheating on her. You know you. Men, you know you. Don't waste her time or your own time messing with a female that you know that if her lifestyle is a certain way, your lifestyle is a certain way, it's not going to come together. It's not going to happen. You know it, and she needs to know that. So when you talking to females and you getting to know them and you see the type of lifestyle they live or whatever, and you know you don't like to do the same things she like to do, you don't like to eat the same food she likes to eat, you don't do the same activities she does, y'all sexual appetites ain't the same, whatever the case may be, don't even waste your time trying to be in a long-term relationship with her, because it's not gonna work. Whatever that difference is, it's not going to change. And a lot of times we'll pursue women because our bodies want to be satisfied, and we'll say whatever we have to say in order to get in bed with her. But once that activity is over and you're not stimulated anymore, would you really want to be with her? If the sex wasn't an issue, if the sex wasn't on the table, would you really want to be with her? Could you be with her monogamously if there was no sex? And that's when you start finding out and start realizing, you know, well, I like to do things this way, she do things that way, whoa. It ain't gonna work. Don't even play with her mind like that. Don't play with her emotions like that. Don't even play with your own like that. Don't do that. Just let it go. Be real with yourself and be real with her. Let these women know up front, this is what I like, this is what I don't like. And take it or leave it. You know, bottom line. This is what works for me, this is what don't work for me, and I want her to tell me the same thing. You know, just be upfront from the get-go. You know what I'm saying? Just be honest. Women say they want you to be honest with you, and it just seemed to me, just from watching other people's relationships, watching this mess on TV, it's almost seemed like it's easier just to lie to women than tell them the truth. Because women don't, you show them who you are. They see the truth. But they more into the potential than the reality. So just be upfront with the women. Tell them, be honest with them about who you are, what you about, whoa. You know, and then when she be honest with you, you have to understand too. If she be honest with you, Let her know, you know, I can't get with that. You know, I'm not, that's not me. You know what I'm saying? I know me. You know what I'm saying? And I just can't, we're not going to do this. We're not going to, it's not going to come together. So, like I said, men, just be real, be honest, and you also have to get real with the possibility that you may not get into a relationship. You have to be able to come to grips with the fact that you may always be single. You know what I'm saying? So you have to learn to function alone. You know, some people are defined by their status. You know, a lot of women are like proud to be in relationships, to say that they, you know, they got a man. You know what I'm saying? So they can flaunt him around their girlfriends or whatever. And some men are the same way. Yo, I got her. You know, that's my girl. You know, whoa. You got to be real with the possibility that you may be alone for a long time. You may never get into a relationship. Some people are, like I said, like this woman on this show. She was willing to be in a bad relationship just for the sake of being in a relationship. All you're going to do is cause yourself hurt and harm. So just eliminate all of that and just be upfront and honest with each other. Men, be upfront and honest with these women. Women, be upfront and honest with these dudes and accept this dude. Who he is when you meet him, that's who he is. Do not judge him off of his potential in your eyes. Judge him for exactly who he is. Men, be upfront and honest with her. That way, if things go south, you told her up front. You showed her and you told her. She decided she wanted to, she with it, and things go south, she ain't got nobody to blame but herself. Because if she thought she was going to change you told her up front, this is who I am. It's on her. You know, I guess, you know, now that I'm older, I see things a lot differently now. You know, I've made countless mistakes. If you want to know what not to do in a relationship, I'm the guy to tell you. And, you know, I ain't even, you know, it is what it is, you know. Nobody's perfect. I know I ain't perfect. So, yeah, that's all I wanted to drop on y'all today. You know, that show just amazed me. And they have several, it's almost every week where you see, I'll say every other week, is these women in these just ridiculously abusive relationships, and they just tolerate any and everything. And all you keep hearing them say is, I tried to make it work. I was trying to make it work. And then it usually always results in the death of somebody. That's how it takes for death for them to go their separate ways. Whether, you know, he ended up killing the mother, he killed one of the children. I've seen guys kill their own children. I mean, and he was crazy the whole time. But she was trying to make it work. If you gotta make a relationship work, it's that hourglass, man. Just a matter of time. That's all I got for today. I'm out.